Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and here on this channel, we like to talk about stuff regarding the law of attraction, manifestation, positive things, high vibrations, self-development, self-help, and just an overall high vibrational state of living. Now, in today's video, I want to take some time to talk about a problem that I noticed in a lot of people when they first start manifesting. And sometimes it can happen to even the most experienced manifestors, just because, as human beings, we tend to be very curious individuals. Now, if you're here, I'm sure you've already learned a little bit more about the law of attraction, what it is to manifest. And I think a lot of us were introduced to this concept through the movie and the book, The Secret. And I remember when I first saw this movie, I was super excited. I was fairly young. I think I was like 21. And since then, I've been able to successfully manifest quite a lot of interesting things, quite different lifestyles. I think I like to tell people I've lived many lifetimes in this present life just because I've gone through so many changes. But what I didn't understand then is that I was creating a lot of blockages for myself whenever I would start to express worry or wondering how my manifestation was going to come true. And this is something that I've noticed. It wasn't just about me. There was a lot of people that knew about The Secret and the law of attraction. They also fell into this hole as well. And the thing about these movies and books in general, documentaries, whatever you guys watch that exposed you to the law of attraction, is that they get you really, really excited about manifesting. And they tell you that you can ask for anything you want and that anything is possible. There's no limits. And while all of that is true, they kind of skip over the part where you kind of have to trust the universe. Of course, believing is a very, very big part of this, but they don't talk about how to really get yourself to fully believe and to fully trust and believe that the universe is going to bring you what you want. So when you first start manifesting, I fully understand how exciting it is and how ready you are to have your manifestations come true right away. It almost feels like you want to ask for a million things because you want this, you want that. You just want to get going on your new life now that you understand that you can truly have whatever it is that you want. And I find that a part of this, once you start to ask, people start to wonder how they're going to get these manifestations. And I understand this because I like to ask 1,000,001 questions. If you ask anyone around me, if you ask my husband, I am the type of person that likes to ask 101 questions regarding any topic. And I've always been this way as a child. I always like to know who, what, when, where, why. Why is probably my biggest question whenever I'm learning something new. It's always, well, why does this happen? Why does that happen? I've just always been a very curious person. And this is something that I had to overcome. And when I first started manifesting and asking for things from the universe, I would start to go in circles in my head about how I was going to get these manifestations. And I would start visualizing different ways that it would happen. But what I didn't know at the time was that by trying to visualize a specific way of how this was going to come, I was actually blocking the universe's way of bringing me things because my mind at the time was still kind of closed off. I wasn't as experienced as I am now, but I was limiting how this manifestation could come to me. Just because I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that I could get this specific manifestation, I did not understand that the universe has an infinite amount of ways to bring me what I want. I constantly had so many questions on how the universe was going to bring me things, when it was going to come, how it was going to come, what the circumstances of that manifestation were going to be. But I noticed that the more questions I was asking, it almost felt like I was creating a wider separation between what I had asked for and what I actually wanted. And in fact, it actually was creating a bigger lock because I was focusing on why I was no longer, or why I was not getting my manifestation fast enough. I was focusing on the fact that it still hadn't been delivered to me by asking so many questions and trying to fully understand how this was going to happen. Part of my goal with this video here is to really get this message across to you and to really let you guys know that you don't need to control everything. You don't need to control how the universe is going to get you what you've asked for. Basically, it's none of your business. It really is none of your business. It's not your concern how the universe is going to get you what you want. You just have to focus on raising your vibrational frequency, feeling good, feeling better about life, defocusing from the problems that you're having, and really just aligning with a higher vibrational frequency that's going to release any blockages you have from your desired manifestations in order to allow them to come in a lot quicker. I just want to give you guys here a quick example to maybe highlight it and make it a little bit more easy to understand. So I want you to think to back when you guys were teenagers, or if you are a teenager now and you're watching this, you're probably still going through this in some capacity while you're living at home with your parents. So let's say, for example, you had strict parents and they always wanted to control you. You know, I grew up this way, so I definitely know what this can be like, where your parents want to know everything that's going on in your life. They want to know who you're hanging out with, when you're coming home, what you're doing. They're constantly calling you or texting you to find out what's going on. They basically want to have full control over you. Now, do you remember how this felt? It was very overwhelming. It felt like it was just way too much, like you had zero autonomy, like you just had no control over your life. And these feelings kind of just made me, at least, feel like I just wanted to rebel. I didn't want to listen. I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I wanted to do the exact opposite of what they were telling me to do. That's exactly what you're doing when you're trying to manifest, but then you try to control how it happens by asking all of these questions of how. You're literally pushing back against the possibilities. You're creating resistance for yourself. So my biggest advice here would be to fully stop trying to control how these things happen and just fully trust that the universe has your best interests at heart. Another clear example that I could give you about this is when someone is looking for a relationship or they're looking for their partner. And I'm sure we all know somebody like this or have heard stories of someone like this where they get hyper focused on finding the one, finding their soulmate, getting into that forever relationship. And they become so obsessed with this idea that they start going out to bars all the time. They start going on blind dates. They start signing up to a million different dating websites and almost trying to force this relationship to happen. And by doing that, they're creating a lot of resistance. They're almost emitting like this desperate energy. And if you've ever had a person in your life, or if you've ever gone on a date with someone that was desperate, all you wanted to do was get them away from you because you just didn't like that energy. But the more these people try to force their romantic relationship to happen, the least likely it is to come. And then finally, when they give up, their dream person just shows up on their doorstep. And it's finally because they had decided to stop building that resistance, to stop asking all of these questions, to stop forcing something to happen, and just letting the universe deliver exactly what they wanted the easiest way possible. And sometimes the easiest way possible for the universe to deliver you something is through a way that you probably would have never thought of. I guess my message here today for you guys is to really just relax, trust in the universe, and go do something fun. Go chill, elevate your vibration, feel better, go laugh, go watch a movie, go do something that makes you feel good, and trust that the universe is going to deliver what you have asked for when you least expect it to. The more experienced you are, the quicker you get into the manifestation mode, the more you understand the game that you're playing here. And I understand that sometimes it can be a little bit hard, especially when you really, really want something that's close to your heart. But just trust that the universe has heard you. It can feel what you want. Go have fun, elevate your vibration, and trust that the universe will bring you exactly what you want. All right, so that's it for today's video, guys. If you have any other video suggestions, any other topics that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.